Good. Good evening, everyone. So we are going to start this webinar on
Have we lost video?
recycled. Can you hear me, all of you?
Yeah,
Okay. So I think I welcome everyone, all of you who are in Indian Plastic Institute as well as from outside who have registered and awaiting this seminar on recycled PET for application in food packaging. Now, I will give you a small introduction of IPI and later on the introduction of all the speakers. The first is IPI was established somewhere in 1985 in Mumbai. Originally it was called PRI from London, but then we switched over to IPI, that is Indian Plastic Institute, in 1985 in Mumbai. And around the same time, we had Maharashtra Institute of Technology also established in Pune, and it was the first university, first institute to give plastic engineering, polymer engineering course at BTech level or BE level. And it has been continuing for a long time now. And some of our students have become stalwarts in polymer engineering in the industry. And there are now we have something like 15 chapters established for Indian Plastic Institute all over India with 22 student chapters. And we are carrying out a lot of work of dissemination of knowledge through webinars, through seminars, through endowment lectures. And we are having something like 21 endowment lectures, which are actually supported by the endowment from the industry. And we have it almost every year all over the chapters. These are distributed to different chapters. And Pune chapter was there, which was having, in fact, at one time maximum number of lectures and seminars. That time it was seminars. Now it has become webinar. Now we have carried out number of webinars in last year and this year from IPI head office also. Then IPI was known for DIPI course, Diploma Plastic in Technology. And that was initiated right when IPI was established. And this course was very, very popular and amongst the industry. And now it has become a pan-India course, because earlier it was used to be localized in Mumbai and Bangalore, but now it has become pan-India. Thanks to COVID, that we can now do it on webinar basis and online basis. So I would say that this DIPI course also is now continuing full swing. And along with Plast India, IPI along with Plast India has been always looking at recycling and reprocessing and plastic and environment. And we have, in fact, Dr. Samir Joshi, who was very active in this area, along with Plast India, and one of the first PET recycled yarn, bottled recycled and giving yarn, and which was converted to t-shirts, one of the largest t-shirts in the world. In fact, I was told by him. I'll ask him to speak a little bit about it later. But this was the first instance where PET recycled was used in fabrics. That is bottles to fabrics. Now, why this particular webinar? Okay, so RPET has been there for quite some time, and in fact, we claim or we boast that in India we are recycling 90% of the bottles, PET bottles. And then why should we bother about anything else? No, there is a need for doing that. Because if you convert bottles into yarns, a PET is going from bottle form to yarn form. Okay, in a way you are recycling PET bottles, not recycling, actually converting it, I would say, into another product. But then that is not a real recycling, or it is not really a circular process, what we observe in nature. What comes from the farm goes back to the farm is actually the circular economy. You can say it is a circular process. Whereas this particular process which is going from bottle to yarn and then from to fabric, then what happens to the fabric when after usage? Does it go back to bottle? It doesn't. So this becomes an open-ended loop. So it is not really a circular in that sense. Yes, you have reduced the uh, bottles in the ocean and on the landfill and so on. But and it has got converted into yarn and fabric. But it does not go back to bottle, first of all. And even if it goes back to bottle, how are you going to use it? So there comes a question whether we should have a food grade RPET. And that is why this webinar is being held. What are the issues and how it can be done? And can we complete the loop as bottle to bottle? And for that matter, Coca-Cola recently announced, Coca-Cola as well as Pepsi, that they're going for 100% recycle based bottles for their products. They announced it in February 2021, that is this year. Pepsi announced it in December that 9 Euro countries will be having recycled PET bottles for their products. And there is an advantage of that from environmental point of view, that is 40% reduction in, at least that is claimed, that 40% reduction in carbon emission per bottle. So if that is the case, then we should really seriously think about, can we use RPET for food applications? And that is why we are holding this seminar. We are having 3 eminent speakers who are engaged in PET for quite some time. Professor Edward is in fact engaged fully in recycling of food grade waste, I mean upgrading, I would say, to food grade PP and PET. And of course, we have Professor Abu, who has been dealing quite a lot with PET. And of course, the first one to speak is Dr. P.S.G. Krishnan, who was in Futura earlier. Now he is in CPET. In Futura, he was fully engaged, Futura Polyesters, in making PET food grade material, which is recycled from the bottles. So I would first request Sunil Kokrale to introduce the speakers, and then we'll get on with one by one their presentations. Thank you. Welcome all, and I hope you enjoy this webinar.
Thank you, Dr. Radhakrishnan, and it is